Product provided by Nintendo. Imagine a Super Mario Party follow-up, but not just any Super Mario Party sequel. A sequel that launches with a significant amount of high-quality, fully featured boards on par with the early games in the Mario Party series. A sequel chock full of fun new minigames that both use the Switch's hardware capabilities like HD Rumble, IR Blaster, and its ability of producing higher resolution graphics, in addition to a selection of new games that drop the gimmicks, I use that term in the best way possible for the lack of a better term, in favor of relying more heavily on more typical control schemes, i.e. having support for whatever controller you see fit rather than limiting the game to single Joy-Con like the original Super Mario Party did. Alongside those new games, a collection of classic minigames from the best Mario Party games to date also join the rotation. And stick with me here, maybe, just maybe, this new Super Mario Party game would have the option to play the full-on board game mode not only locally but also online with friends. And not just that, imagine this new Mario Party game not being a one and done release, not even a game with DLC or free content updates in the way that Nintendo has done with other big first party franchises in the past. Imagine this Mario Party game that I just described for you and think about how much the series could evolve with that. Now think about how much further it might be able to evolve if they allowed Fall Guys to be a source for inspiration. I know I have been imagining this for a while now. Let's talk about it. Before I really dive into it, I just want to take a second to thank all of the people that have been supporting our videos these past few weeks. We've been making an effort to be more deliberate with the topics we choose to make videos on to make sure that they appeal to as much of our audience as possible. Also, to fend off the dreaded YouTube algorithm gods. With that said, feel free to let us know in the comments what else you'd like to see us cover in future videos. And while you're down there, let me know your thoughts on this video. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell for more videos from us every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, with that out of the way, on to the main event. I completely understand a lot of you are most likely scratching your heads. Fall Guys and Mario Party are in completely different genres. Their appeal is completely different, you may say. I respect that opinion, but I think it's a bit too narrow-minded. Of course, in some ways, Mario Party and Fall Guys are two very, very different games, especially when Super Mario Party in particular enters the chat. Even when taking that base level analysis of the situation into account, I think they actually do share quite a lot of common ground in the most important ways. And the ways in which they differ is where Nintendo can find inspiration to take the Mario Party franchise to another level. Despite how competitive some people can be in regards to Fall Guys, I definitely think the core of both games is chaotic fun. In the spectrum of casual games, Fall Guys lands somewhere closer to Mario Kart than it does Mario Party, with it allowing more control over who wins and who loses given its best practices in competing in each individual minigame, as well as specific techniques and tricks to get ahead of the competition. Beyond that, and in a sense, because of that, it shares that relationship ruining DNA. Knowing all of that is important because I think it makes it easier to see what Fall Guys has to teach Mario Party. With that said, let's talk more direct differences. What does Fall Guys do that Mario Party doesn't do well, if not doesn't do at all? First and foremost, the biggest strength that I think Fall Guys has over Mario Party is its superior capacity for competitive play. While both games I feel prioritize that anyone can play so anyone can in theory win design for the controls, game types, and level design, Fall Guys doesn't really go out of its way to level the playing field beyond that. Everyone is given the same basic, arguably intentionally clumsy controls, set of simple tasks to compete on a game-to-game basis, and the ultimate end goal of being the last man standing with crown in hand. There's no bonus crowns, there's not even any blue shells, so its level of competition extends beyond Mario Kart even, and with that distinction, people feel more confident in saying they can be good at Fall Guys. I personally differ a bit on that opinion, but that's another topic for another day. Where I agree though is Mario Party definitely should be doing a better job at being a game everyday players can feel like they can get good at. And before you leave this comment, try not to take that in the hyperbolic internet way. Nintendo doesn't need to make Super Mario Party 2 super try-hard mode or anything like that, but they could at least make it worth trying to win in Super Mario Party 2 in a more direct way than just attempting to game the bonus star system, where it can even be beneficial to intentionally sandbag at certain aspects of the game to secure a cheese win via the aforementioned bonus stars. The easy path to take would be to completely make bonus stars a bonus mode thing rather than a main game thing you can choose to turn off, but I don't even necessarily think that's the best answer. I think the best thing to do would be to maintain the use of bonus stars while effectively making them extra credit that is made abundantly clear at the start of every session rather than a hidden gotcha moment at the end of each session. Even more than that, I prefer to have the fight for bonus stars to be tied to a finale minigame of sorts out of a random selection of games that are similar to, say, Hexagon and Fall Guys. A game that is decided by a last man standing sort of deal, like again Hexagon, that maybe has a bit more depth to open the door for objectives to shoot for within the main end goal of lasting to the end for those other bonus stars. Like maybe there's a system where you get rewarded stars for taking other players out on the path to be the last man standing, or reaching certain checkpoints first, stuff like that. This way the game has even more gamification in and agency over the fight for bonus stars, and that's the same approach I think should be taken with the types of minigames that are playable in Super Mario Party 2. I think the kinds of games that we play from round to round should have more clearly communicated rhyme and reason for whether the minigames played are team games or not, which teams you're assigned to, and or if it's a 3v1 game. I think Nintendo should be affording players the ability to strategize on which games get played in the same way that you can strategize to get the win in a game of Monopoly, Sorry, or really any non-Candyland board game. To bring it back to Fall Guys though, while you may not have this level of control, you do have the option to squad up with friends via parties to guarantee you'll be placed with them in team games. This at least makes it so you have some agency over how well you can do in applicable games. It's important to note that none of this stuff is completely unprecedented in Mario Party. A lot of it can be done via toggles and menus or secondary game modes like Partner Party, but I think these sensibilities should apply to the default experience in the next Mario Party game. Expecting people to want to play ancillary modes for the core experience they want is a fool's errand. The main party mode needs to be the mode that checks all of these important boxes for the most people possible. With that said, one thing that Fall Guys does that Mario Party hasn't even thought about attempting is being a living document. Super Mario Party in particular felt like it was starved for content and even positioned to have that feeling addressed and rectified over time through free content updates like Splatoon 2, or Mario Tennis Aces, and eventually maybe even paid DLC like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But as we all know, that game went on to be a massive success commercially, selling somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 million units without any additional content beyond launch. Imagine if this game was developed in a similar way to Fall Guys though, a game that has seasonal content with new game types added, new characters or character skins, and game balance changes? Okay, that last one is less likely, less necessary, but like a man can dream. I think the obvious path forward for multiplayer games for the game industry as a whole is providing experiences that evolve alongside their audiences. Games that have events that people rally behind. Games that work to maintain people's interest in them. I think it would be all too easy for Nintendo to have events in Mario Party where players can work toward unlocking characters in events like a Donkey Kong event to unlock, say, King K. Rool, or a New Donk City event to unlock Pauline, or even an F-Zero event to unlock Captain Falcon, since Nintendo won't let him out to play in his own games. They could even completely steer in this direction with the option to unlock and or purchase in-game currency to get themed dice skins or outfits for characters. The sky's the limit as long as they keep it down to superficial, cosmetic things rather than anything that influences how well or poorly you do in the game. I see no reason not to make this happen. It would also be more of a reason to continue to develop and release new boards for free to keep all of the players engaged and actively playing the game. I for one think it would make Mario Party a series that truly rivals the importance of Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Rather than being a footnote in the minds of many gamers. Speaking of something that's been on the mind of many gamers, please make Mario Party's board game mode playable online. It's way past due. I don't want to hear any of the half-baked excuses from stands in the comments. There's no reason Mario Party can't be online, especially in the world we live in now. Local play can't be the end-all be-all, and honestly never should have been once online gaming became a thing to begin with. I don't think there's a legitimate argument to the contrary. It's clear now that people will happily play a game like this online for long periods of time if the ability to play Monopoly of all things online for at least a decade wasn't proof enough. Aside from that though, I do want to know what you guys think about the rest of this video. Do you think Fall Guys has anything to offer Mario Party in terms of design, content strategy, anything like that? Also, how long do you think the obvious console exclusivity deal for Fall Guys is, and how long after that ends do you think it'll be ported to Switch? Let me know all of that and more in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring the bell for more videos like it every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, if you'd like a way to more directly support this channel for free, consider clicking on the playlist linked in the pinned comment and playing it at 0.25x speed in a muted tab in the background to give YouTube's algorithm the watch minutes it so demands, if that's something you're into. Okay, that's it for me. See you next week.